Good morning, guys. It is it's like 4:30, 4:39, something like that in the morning right now. I woke up about 4:30, I guess. And I thought, I don't know, it was like I was dreaming about this or something, but I was like, you know what? I should just do a little segment called Waking Moments with Dave. Like, whenever I wake up and I'm still sitting here and I'm like, dadgummit, I can't take off, I can't do nothing until, you know, well, I think this morning it's going to be like 5:45 or something like that. I can't remember what time it was I shut down exactly, but basically 6 o'clock in the morning, I can't really take off until then. So like, I think at 5:43 I'll be able to go on duty and do my pre-trip. You know, I think it's at 5:43. Yeah, pretty sure. Like 5:43, I'll have my 10-hour break in then, and so then I'll be able to do my pre-trip, get ready to go, and everything. Of course, I'll probably already be in there grabbing my coffee, and I'm thinking. But I woke up, I was like, man, I wonder if the coffee at this place is any good. I got coffee here once before, and I just can't remember if it was any good or not. It's been a good minute since I really, stopped in here. I stopped in here, I think, sometime last week or something. But they're starting to get the construction a little further down the road from this truck stop. So that was the main reason I didn't want to stop in here. But I figured, you know what? Why not just do these waking moments with Dave or whatever? Just a little chit chat, about whatever, maybe whatever I dreamed about, or whatever, something. That's something I haven't seen anyone else do. Just like do little short videos every now and then, like when I just wake up and I'm thinking about shit. It's like, well, I don't know. And what was going through my head when I first woke up? Well, there was two things. Somebody asked yesterday if I ever wish I could be doing something different. And so I was kind of thinking about that. And then I was also thinking about the math equation problem we were talking about in the live the other day, and how, like, whenever they ask those questions, like, let's say on a test in high school or whatever, they ask this question like, there's a train traveling at this speed from here, and it's going to this place so many miles away. How long is it going to take to get there? It's like really simple, like too simple. It's like, what other variables are there? I mean, to me, like, things just aren't that simple. Sure, you could give a BS answer, and that's what they're looking for. But it's like, why aren't we teaching kids like these math equations, math problems, like teaching them on a higher level where they're learning like all the different unknown variables, to like not just give a stupid answer, but just like to ask questions like, okay, does it pass by the sun? Is it going to come within like 50,000 miles of Neptune because the gravitational pull on that? I don't know. Sometimes we give answers on tests and stuff, and we know it's simple what they're wanting for an answer. But the reality of it is, you really don't know exactly when that train's going to get there. If you want to get down to the very second, the millisecond of when it's going to get there, it hits, it's doing this certain speed. Well, it doesn't do that exact same speed the whole way. You know that. So it's not going to get there at a precise time, but they're not looking for a precise answer. I don't know. Do we need to change our education system to be more precise, to try to keep up with the advancements in science and technology? I mean, sure, like, as you go into college and stuff, then you start learning a bit more how to be more precise and how to search for more variables and things like that. it's kind of neat to think about how things can change over time in education for what we knew was to be the answer at one point. Later on down the road is not necessarily the whole, full, true answer. You know, when you think more about it, right? I don't know. Just a little segment here I thought I would do, kind of like thoughts with Dave or waking moments with Dave. Like, I periodically, sometimes I will wake up, like I went to bed last night. It was probably close to midnight, 11:30ish or so. I watched some other people's videos, like the Sippin' and Spillin', their first video on the identity thing. I really kind of like their iteration, how they took it or put it or whatever. I like that, their video on it. Very real, very down to earth and legit, I guess. So I kind of like their spin on that. And then Country Road Cure, they done a really great job with their video. Mel and Gary was the one that was sort of off-putting just because of the feelings or whatnot. And, I mean, they're all right. I mean, it is kind of arrogant or cocky or whatever to think that you're the first person that done that or whatever. I mean, I could sit here, I can't say that I'm the first person that come up with like Coffee with Dave or coffee with whatever. That I got that idea from Regis and Kelly a long time ago on TV, right? And I've been on YouTube way longer than Jason Crocker, right? Way longer. And I did videos, and I even put it out there, right? From back when I was in my 98 Pete doing Coffee with Dave, I put that video out there once, like after Jason like said he came up with the idea or whatever, and it had something to do with Walker Farm Fam or whatnot. And I was like, you didn't come up with that idea. Like, I've already done it before. So I mean, you can't try to claim that you have done that. I mean, that's whenever I say stuff, it's like, yeah, sometimes Jason's a little full of himself or whatever. That's kind of what is in my mind, is those little instances like that. And sure, like everybody will do stuff like that and maybe, say things without fully thinking about them. And you know what? We give people leeway. I mean, you don't hold someone like to the grindstone. It's like, no, you gotta be politically correct all the time. I don't give a crap. He can be like that, and it's fine. Like, everybody is like that from time to time. Just that's human nature. We have to be forgiving. Stuff like that. That's one thing I'm definitely learning from YouTube, is to be more forgiving and not so like, no, it's got to be, like it's got to be like this. You got to be politically correct all the freaking time. And you know what? People are people, and I enjoy the Crockers for who they are and everything. I don't always try to stay in my lane. Now, when I'm driving, yes, but like on YouTube, in YouTube world, you don't always just try to stay in your lane. Sometimes, like, you gotta be that person. I've said that before, and I don't think people really fully understand the whole balagoo, or whatever you want to call it, that includes. You gotta be that guy, right? You gotta be that person. I think Wrangler Star probably said it best one time in a video. He's like, if you want to really stand out on YouTube, you gotta be that guy. You gotta be the go-to, the know-how, like the guru of that niche, right? And so you got to do your homework. You got to be like on top of your game, and you got to know what you're talking about, And like this stuff I'm talking about right now, yes, I know a lot about YouTube. I've watched a lot of people, Nick Nimmin and all those people. I've watched them how to do YouTube, blah, 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 and I take a lot of my information from them. But do I actually put it into practice? No, I don't. And that's why my channel doesn't like grow. I'm scared for my channel to be like really huge. I'm scared to death of that. I'm scared to death to be famous. I know I could be if I really tried. Do I really want to try? Not really. I want to have fun with YouTube. I want to hang out with people. I want to, teach people some of the things I've learned throughout life, welding skills, mechanicking skills, building things or whatever, just for pure entertainment, not necessarily how to build something. Because when you build things, there's not exactly a one way only, right? You can build things so many different ways, and that's the beauty of building stuff, is it doesn't necessarily have to be built a certain way. Now when it comes to engineering, blah blah blah, for it to be able to stay standing, then yeah, it needs to be built to a certain standard, but it's not always one certain way. You look at building buildings and stuff over the centuries, from building the little sod houses and stuff in the hillsides, and then building from their roof out of sticks and twigs and putting mud and stuff on top of it. And now we're building out of sticks from trees, 2x4s and whatnot. Then the concrete and rebar, right? There's different methods and stuff, and those things evolve over the years. So guess what? There's no true right or wrong way. If it fails, it fails, right? And then it was wrong, right? If it failed, it was wrong. And even the stick-built homes that we build nowadays is not built to code of the future, okay? It's not built correctly to the future's code or whatever, because those buildings aren't perfect, okay? They're not bulletproof. They're not tornado-proof. I mean, I literally watched a huge concrete building structure, a big hospital, get moved by a tornado. This is a building that is so huge. It's like a small skyscraper, not super tall, but it's so big that you would never imagine that it would have moved 6 inches off its foundation because of a tornado. But there was a hospital in Joplin, Missouri, got hit by the EF6 or whatever size tornado that I can't remember what they ended up calling it, but it was the biggest ever recorded. Like EF5 is the biggest that's the biggest measurement, right? And they actually said it was basically EF6. It was bigger than they could measure, okay? And it moved that hospital. It was a multi-vortex storm, tornado, whatever you want to call it. It was multi-tornado and extremely powerful. And it moved this huge building that, it was a ginormous hospital, concrete hospital. Moved it 6 inches is what I heard off of its foundations. Blew me away, and so like we get people that are always like, oh, you built that wrong or whatever, like on the Crockers channel and stuff. Like, if I build shit wrong, people don't even tell me. I don't know if I've just gained the respect of so many haters or what, but I think they understand, like when they're watching my stuff, that I absolutely will not build it to some code or whatever. I'm not a house builder or nothing, so I don't even know the first thing about building a house, but I know you can build it many, many different ways. I mean, when you think about woodworking and the way you can build a box, there's so many ways you can build a box, and there's not any right or wrong way. Like if you're cutting your angles to build a square part of a box, and you're not cutting it on a 45, let's say you cut one angle and then the other one the corresponding angle, and it still makes a 90. Well, problem is it's not going to be like equidistant on the angles, right? But you could still come up with a 90-degree angle for a box, and it would probably look stupid, to be honest. But there's a lot of different ways you can build a box, right? And build the houses, build the box. So I don't know. It's kind of funny to see some of the stuff in YouTube world that's going on. and it's entertainment. You know, that I see it for what it really is. That like all these big channels could have hopped on that bandwagon and followed that trend because they seen it coming. You know, they maybe just watch the Crockers and then they're like, okay, you're full of crap. We're going to call you out on it, Jason. And the funny thing is, like, before I even watched, you know, I watched Simple Life Reclaims video. That's all I had time to watch before I did my live yesterday. And, you know, then I talked about all this stuff, and then I go back and, like, exactly what I said was right on par with, like, Country Road Cure and pretty much on par with Sippin' and Spillin', you know, the Crouch Ranch over there. Or better known, I guess, well, they're better known as the Crouch Ranch, but now the new name of their main channel is 3 Mississippi. That's pretty cool. How do the people come up with stuff that's catchy? 3 Mississippi, you know, because everyone's like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Who says 4 Mississippi, right? And there's 3 of them, you know. There's Mike and Sid and what's their daughter's name? Dang it. Why can't I remember their daughter's name? Well, I guess she's just really not on there that much, but shit. Now I'm messing this up because I'm brain farting. Dang it. Edit. Cut. Frankie. That's what her name is. Dadgummit. Anyway, so there you go. I finally remember her name. But yeah, there's 3 of them. And they moved to Mississippi, so that makes total sense. 3 Mississippi. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like all these people. You know, I'm not ever. I mean, if you hear me say like, yeah, Jason Crocker's full of crap. Sometimes he's just full of himself. I'm not trying to bash him. You know, he's a cool dude, and we all make mistakes. I guarantee you, I've made a billion mistakes on YouTube, and I've lost a lot of subs over it. People that they'll stay subbed and yet not watch any of my content. And I'm like, yeah, that's good. You know, that's fine. If they don't want to watch, they don't have to. And I'm just hopeful that I can periodically produce content that they will enjoy watching. And, you know, people do come back from time to time like, hey, I hadn't seen your channel in a while, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, like, let's see, I think it was Country Road Cure that was saying, you know, like, yeah, nobody truly knows YouTube. It's like, they're right. Like I say all the time, there's so much to doing YouTube and growing a YouTube channel, and one day your channel blows up because of whatever reason. Like, there's so many variables, just so many. And so, I mean, yeah, they're right. Not any one person knows. Like, all those channels out there that their channel is about nothing but how to grow your YouTube channel, they don't even know. All right, that's the thing. And, you know, I can put stuff out there that's totally true. You know, there's a lot to it. Okay, there's a lot to simply just becoming famous, period. All right, and that's kind of what everyone on YouTube kind of dreams of, is like going viral. You know, I want to go viral. You know, I want to make that one video that just like gets like a couple million views overnight or whatever, and it's totally possible. I mean, that, look at, what is this, like Superman or something? Like, what's up with my hair? That's just how I woke up. But anyways, like, that's what a lot of people dream of. I'm scared of that, honestly. I'm like, I don't know that I would want my channel to be as big as the Crockers, to have thousands of viewers on my lives, you know, like Fandemonium, you know, just, I don't know that I want that. I like where I'm at. I like where my channel is right now. I can actually have a conversation. New people pop in from time to time on my lives. I do a sheesh ton of lives. Yeah, I do lives. No, I don't lie. But I do a lot of lives. A lot. And that's kind of where my channels went, because that's where my life has went. My life has just made it to where that's what I have to do if I'm going to stay on YouTube and keep creating content. Yes, I do drop periodically videos, and I will drop a video after a live pretty much every day, and I'm making that a habit. So what I hear from people is, in order to grow your YouTube channel, you have to be consistent. But what I say is, in order to grow your YouTube channel, you have to explore the possibilities. You have to be interesting. You have to tell a story, whether it's like physically sitting here telling you a story, or if you're listening and reading between the lines and seeing a live story coming from my videos. If you have an interesting and compelling story, then you're gonna get the followers from that. Sure, you could make a YouTube short if you're really good at making shorts, if that's the kind of content you're able to do, and that's how your mind works or whatnot. You could blow up from that. Lots of people do. There's like gamers out there, like Country Road Cure was talking about gamers, and like how there's so many, like probably millions of them on YouTube streaming games, because it's super easy. And that's what also, I don't watch stuff like that, but I know of it. And so it's like, why don't I just stream video while I'm driving a truck? It's content, and it's a talk show, because it's something I'm able to do while I'm driving. I can talk nonstop for hours and hours. And I guess that's a talent I have that I didn't know that I had. And I just kind of went with it, rolled with it, and it's like, I honestly believe I am setting myself apart from most everybody else, and maybe one day my channel will really get traction, and it will get lots of followers. I guess, there's a good side and bad side of that. Okay, I'm scared to death of it getting to be this huge channel, because of maybe losing touch of, really getting to connect with all the followers in the lives. Whenever it's like Jared Crocker's video, his lives, and he's got well over 1,000 people in there, it's super hard to be able to read every comment. I mean, it's not super hard, it's impossible. You can't possibly do it. And then you don't feel like you're giving that connection, really, or getting that connection in between you and your followers and people, your fans and your family and everybody. By far, not everybody that watches my stuff is all family or friend. Some of them are foe, and some of them are just like, hey, yeah, their colleagues and stuff watch it, and they probably don't comment. Can't really like say they're family necessarily, but I do have a lot of family on here, friends and family on YouTube, and I love being able to connect with them. And y'all, you know who you are. You're the OGs, and y'all have helped me get to where I am today here on YouTube. But see, the kind of the bad part is, that's bad part, good part. I don't know. So you get all these followers, right? And the whole reason to get all these followers is just because you want to make it on YouTube. You want to make a paycheck off of it and make a decent living, and that goes back to that question that someone asks, like, do you ever wish you could do something else? That was asked in my live. My hair's like, every time I gotta stop looking at the camera, because I see my hairdo messed up, and it's messing with me on my train of thought here. But that goes back to that. It's like, would you, or do you ever wish you could do something else or whatever? It's like, I can do anything. I know that I could do anything. I could probably, if I put my mind to it, I might even be able to be an astronaut, or could have. I think I'm probably a little past that, now. You know, I'm 44 years old. I don't know that I could go become an astronaut for health reasons and whatnot. I know they're pretty strict on that. Like, you know, you got to be super healthy and blah blah blah. So probably couldn't be a astronaut anymore. That would be super hard. I don't dream to be an astronaut, right? I don't really dream to ever go into outer space. I'm plenty happy keeping my feet here on the ground. If I had the opportunity to fly into outer space, I might do it. You know, if it's just to like go barely into outer space, like where kind of like the satellites are or whatnot, I would say, you know what, let's do it, right? And it might be the last thing I ever do, you know, because death is almost certain on something like that right there. I don't know. They've got it towards pretty safe now, I think. But I think my dream of, you know, like my perfect reality, like would to not have to work, to be able to do whatever I want to do and money not be an issue. If money wasn't an obstacle, that's the only thing I wish for, like, is that money wasn't an obstacle and I could do anything I wanted. And if I could do that, like if I was filthy rich and had millions and millions of dollars, then I would quit my job and I would go around throughout the world and I would be helping others. I would be doing things to help out others. I would find someone in need and I would help them. And I would go on to the next one and find another person in need and help them. That's what I would do, but you know, finances don't allow me to do that. That's an obstacle. So I don't know, like, because someone asked that question in my live yesterday, I was thinking about this in my sleep. And I hope this ain't too much clickbaity, but you know, that's just how my mind works, and I kind of got back to that. I didn't do that on purpose or anything. I just started talking. And yeah, this is reality, okay? So don't accuse me of clickbait or anything, but I'm just trying to get back to that. Trying not to squirrel off too far. So, yeah. I like what I do. I don't really wish I could do anything different, because I know I could do something different with my life if I wanted. If I truly wanted to do something different, I mean, like be a fighter pilot or something. I don't want to do that, but I could. I could have, I guess. I could have, in my earlier years, maybe pushed the envelope a little more, got into the Air Force or something, but got glasses, you know. So, I mean, did I miss out? No. I don't have any regrets on that, I guess, if anyone was to ask that question. I've done a lot of different things, and I think, you know, I've had employers ask me, like, why have you jumped from job to job to job? It's like, look, when something doesn't challenge me anymore, it gets boring, I don't want to do it no more. I got to do something different, something challenging, you know, because if there ain't a challenge, you know, like one of my bosses told me one time, he's like, you know, if life wasn't a struggle, it wouldn't be worth it, you know. It just simply wouldn't be worth it, right? It's all about the struggle. It's all about the little struggles and everything. And so I'm very happy with my life the way it is. I mean, there's things that's happened in my life that I wish hadn't happened. I've lost people, things like that. Namely, like my older brother, you know, if I was, let's say, given a chance to change anything in the world, something that's happened in the past, that would be that one thing. If I had just my choice to change one thing that happened in the past and make it different, it would, you know, it'd be that my brother didn't commit suicide and I'd have him still here today. That'd be that one thing. So anyways, right there, that's Waking Moments with Dave, guys. I don't know if I'll keep doing these, but there you go. There's one for the history books for you guys. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.